Hey, what's going on, everybody? Um, so big story today. If you've been watching the news, um, things in the Middle East just got pretty escalated, pretty huge. U.S. troops are in combat. Um, an order from the president that circumvented Congress. There are people dead, children, bodies being pulled from rubble. Here we are again. The markets are reacting. Headlines everywhere. It feels big. It feels messy. And most of what you're seeing online is people just being fear mongering or, yelling into their phones about how illegal it is. And I'm not really here to yell about that. But what I would like to do is I'd like to go over what's really going on and discuss with you guys why it matters and what it reveals about how people, including you, react under pressure. So let's get into it. So here's the straight factual breakdown of what's happening. The United States has now launched operations against Iran after a buildup of attacks from Iranian aligned groups. This we know. Um, at least 3 U.S. service members now have been killed, several wounded. Um, Trump made a statement that something that alluded to the fact that it happens with war. Um, Iran is responding with strikes across the region, including against Israel. That's happening. And this isn't just a local conflict. It's affecting energy markets. It's affecting travel routes, um, regional stability, investor confidence. Um, but here's the part that I think most people are not talking about. Everyone wants to argue about who's right, who's to blame, who started it. And I think that's exactly where people get stuck. Um, because instead, what we should really be talking about is let's look at like the dynamics underneath all of this and the real forces that shape every conflict, um, every company crisis, every market that you've ever seen all throughout history. The pattern, basically, I mean, the deeper pattern here, whether it's governments, whether it's corporations, whether it's just everyday people, it is the same. And that pattern is that when people with power feel threatened or out of control, um, they react loudly uh, instead of responding calmly. This is a pattern that we just continue to keep seeing over and over and over again. We know when your back's against the wall, you don't just sit there and meditate, right? You make a move, sometimes a big, loud move. That's human nature. I didn't grow up in boardrooms. I grew up where chaos was the default. So I learned stuff like this pretty early. People don't necessarily fear conflict, they just fear the loss of control. And leaders, whether political or corporate or personal, your mom or dad, the leader of a household, doesn't really matter. When you're in a position of authority or leadership, um, and you begin to feel like you're losing authority, you start to act hard, fast, and you become louder and visible. And that's why markets swing, and that's why CEOs fire half their staff in a panic, and that's why guys in relationships go nuclear instead of talking. It's all the same instinct. Um, well, let me bring this home real quick. You don't wake up every day thinking about geopolitics, right? Let's be real. Most people don't. Um, you think about your life and when stuff hits the fan or when a shoe might drop, right? Your business misses a number, the economy starts slowing, your partner snaps at you, your kid needs something unexpected. What do most people do? They react, they panic, they overcorrect. But here's the thing, that I've learned the hard way is that reacting fast doesn't solve the problem. It proves you're reacting. If you want to win, not just survive, but actually win, you need to learn the difference between urgency and panic. Because there is moments when urgency is required, and then there's moments when you're just panicking. And so what do we do with that info? Well, this isn't about yelling at the news or about the news. This is about reflecting on your own reactions. And today, right now, what I want you to do is ask yourself, when your world shakes, do you tighten your grip or do you steady your foundation? Because here's the real truth, is chaos doesn't reveal weakness. It reveals patterns. One more time for the people in the back. Chaos does not reveal weaknesses. It reveals patterns. And if you understand those patterns, you stop becoming a reactor and you become a responder. And we as people need to stop reacting and start responding. That's the difference between winners and everyone else. Here's something for you to think about. And maybe you can even, drop it in the comments after this. What's one situation recently where you reacted before you thought? What was the cost of that reaction and what would have happened if you responded instead? And I want real stories, not opinions, not memes, real examples for your life. Let's talk about that. Today's news, it's loud, but the meaning is quiet. It gets lost. It's about how people are reacting when they feel like they're losing grip. Not just countries, people. Not just boards, families. Not just markets, but minds and hearts and ordinary people. Study patterns. Not noise. Don't let noise make you react. Study patterns and respond. Don't let noise make you react. Study the patterns and respond. Anyway, my name's Tom Kane. This was another episode of Executives Playbook. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow.